All right, good evening. It's 6:30 p.m. and here's the latest updates. We're going to do this for another hour or two. Probably end at 8:30 as far as the last live update on this storm threat. Overall, what we're seeing here is a steady warming of the low-level layers at the surface. Temperatures are already in the upper 30s along the immediate coast, mid 30s in Islip, and notice the dew point is already at 32 degrees. So what we're seeing here is clearly temperatures are rising above freezing along the coast. But over the interior, I'm of course very concerned about ice with this storm. We're already having sleet setting up here. We still have snow throughout much of eastern Pennsylvania. When we look at the surface map, take a look at this. You see this right here? This is a nice little ridge. Now, this is important because what's going to happen is that as our low pressure system over the to the west of us lifts northward, this higher area of pressure, which is basically a representation of the colder, denser air at the surface, is going to really try to hang tough. And that's why I pushed ice totals the past few days up to a half an inch in this area. And we're clearly seeing that set up very nicely, showing up in a very nice signature over eastern Pennsylvania along the Delaware River. So again, northwestern New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania are lining up for a very nasty evening for sleet and freezing rain once that snow changes over. Along the coast, good news here is that the temperatures are rising above freezing. Any treated surface already is going to be warm enough so that we just have plain rain like what we're seeing in Freehold, New Jersey right now, and along the New Jersey coast heading down to Cape May. At 925 millibars, again, we're seeing very strong warm air transport drive into the coastal plain. Very impressive thermal gradient setup. And we just got new data coming in right now. You could see the freezing line just pushing northward, heading into New York City, just pushed past Philadelphia and heading into the interior. What we're going to see is that all this warm air is actually going to drive well into the interior before any of the surface temperatures rise above freezing. And that is where you're going to set up your freezing rain. You're also seeing that very nicely at 850 millibars. That warm air has really jumped northward after stalling out for a bit around southern New Jersey. The past hour or 2 hours is really jumped northward. We can see that progression when we look at 4 hours ago, 2 hours ago, and now currently it's really driven north. So over the past 4 hours, we could really see that warm up take place here throughout the northern mid-Atlantic. Again, 4 hours ago, this is where we were. 2 hours ago, now we just got new data, and here we are currently. So 2 hours ago, we were much colder. Clearly, it has warmed up significantly, and that freezing line 850 millibars is pushing northward past Philadelphia and heading towards the New York City metro with winds 850 millibars around 50 knots. So clearly, we're going to see a changeover. There's no doubt about that. The question is, how long will it remain below freezing at the surface? And the latest water vapor satellite pictures coming in, you can see intense lifting going on over here at the Tennessee River Valley. Our surface low that was in place along the mid-Atlantic coast has pretty much started to dissipate. And in its place, we have a nice, long, strong warm front. And this warm front will drive northward over the next several hours. And on the latest IntelliCast radar, you can see the warm air is just being eroded away as we change over to rain. We're seeing that over eastern Long Island, back through the coastal New Jersey. Significant ice threat starting to set up in the Delaware River Valley, and that's going to spread throughout all of eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Now, the good news is as we look back towards the west here, a lot of this precipitation is more scattered in nature, so we may dodge a bullet in that respect. So hopefully what we'll have set up here is that as we set up conditions for freezing rain, hopefully this steady precipitation changes when it changes over to sleet and freezing rain, ends up being more broken like what we're seeing over Virginia rather than what we're seeing right now over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So we'll watch to see whether this fills in over the next 2 hours or if it remains scattered like this. That is your video discussion, your live feed for this hour. I'll be back again at 7:30 to see if anything has changed. Thank you for following NYNJPA Weather, and as always, stay safe out there.